Good evening. You're watching the News at 6 with me, Shan Russell. The News at 6 is all about the day's biggest developing stories, and we'll be filling in on them over the next half hour. But first, the headlines that we're tracking right now. President Pranab Mukherjee recommends consideration of private members' bill to provide protective measures for farmers in drought-prone areas. The unrelenting heat wave continues across many parts of the country. Orissa, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh record maximum temperatures of 45 degrees and above. Congress gives notice to suspend question hour in Rajya Sabha over the Uttarakhand crisis on Monday. Will ask the House to adopt resolution to condemn imposition of President's rule in the state. And Bangladeshi professor Razul Karim Siddiqui hacked to death by suspected Islamists. Angry students and teachers demand action. A top story this evening. As several states reel under severe drought, President Pranab Mukherjee has recommended consideration of a private member's bill that provides for protective measures of farmers of arid, desert and drought-prone areas. The bill will also provide for a welfare fund with an initial corpus of 10,000 crore rupees. The Farmers of Arid Desert Areas Welfare and Other Special Provisions Bill 2014 was introduced by Congress leader Ahmed Patel in the Rajya Sabha in December 2014. The bill, if enacted, will involve expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India. The financial memorandum with the bill says that an estimated sum of 20,000 crore rupees may be involved as recurring expenditure per annum. A non-recurring expenditure of 5,000 crore rupees may also be involved from the Consolidated Fund of India. Under the rules, a bill which would involve expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India cannot be passed by Parliament unless the President has recommended to the House its consideration. The bill has now been listed for consideration in the upper house. The scorching heat continues to prevail in large swaths of the country. The deadly heat has claimed over 150 lives so far in the past 2 weeks and also triggered a water scarcity in several states. Now, this severe heat is not only affecting humans, but animals as well are facing problems as zoo authorities are taking special measures to keep them cool.
Odisha is witnessing record summer temperatures, with Titlagarh recorded a staggering 47.5 degrees Celsius on Friday. In Bhubaneswar, zoo officials at the Nandankanan Zoo are doing all they can to protect the animals from the scorching heat. Besides watermelons and coconuts, the animals are being fed food supplements to keep them cool.
Prior to February, we have arranged such summer arrangement like thatching of the houses, roof structure of the enclosures, and also backroll of the enclosures, providing shelter to the carnivores as well as small mammals, reptiles.
जानवर भी परेशान है, काफी जानवर सब छुपा हुआ है अंदर अपने में केव्स में.
In the rest of the country, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh were the two other worst affected states on Saturday when mercury crossed 45 degrees. Ramagundam in Telangana recorded 46.1 degrees Celsius for the first time in the last 10 years. The western disturbance, however, brought some rains and drizzles yesterday in the northern region, with mercury dropping 4 to 5 degrees in Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Going by normal weather patterns, India is still 20 to 30 days away from peak summer, but the current weather condition is an ominous sign of the torrid summer ahead of us. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now on to a special focus about the drought crisis in Maharashtra's Marathwada region. And Beed district is the worst affected, with wells, reservoirs and dams completely dried up. This is also a region from where the maximum number of farmer suicides have been reported. Beed is State Minister Pankaja Munde's district, and despite her recent drought selfie controversy, locals say that some timely steps have made a slight difference.
Grief-stricken family and friends mourning the death of Kailash Tilak Rao More. This owner of 16 bighas in Ronas village of Beed district ended his life on 11th of April, unable to pay his farming debts. More is one of the 55 farmers who committed suicide in the district this year. Some time ago, the government had acquired a part of his land for the National Highway project. The family had pinned its hope on the 42 lakh rupees as they were promised as compensation. But bureaucratic red tape prevented it from reaching them. Expenses that More incurred on his son Gorakhnath's wedding last month further swelled his debts, proving to be the final straw for him. More's story is shared by almost every other farmer in the village.
वो बहुत दिन से भीड़ को आ रहे थे, पैसे नहीं मिले इसलिए उन्होंने सुसाइड किया और उनकी ज़मीन जो जा रही है रोड में उसके पैसे नहीं मिल रहे थे इसलिए वो परेशान थे। 3 साल से बारिश नहीं हो रही है और खेत में कुछ भी अनाज नहीं पैदा हुआ।
Dominated by Marathas, the 1500-strong population in Ronas village includes members of all communities. It used to be a prosperous place once, but that was before recurring droughts for the last 5 years ruined the local economy. Fallow land and scarcity of drinking water have together crushed the hopes of the villagers. The lone hand pump manages to cough up water to fill up 4 vessels a day, which is why every household has installed tanks to store water. Tankers provide each family about 500 liters of water once every 8 days. To prevent fights from breaking out, the village panchayat decides the distribution of the water. But despite this, the water provided by the administration is not fit to drink, and women are forced to walk long distances for clean water.
5 साल हो गया बारिश नहीं, इसलिए खेती में कुछ आता नहीं, हर किसान को कोई पीक नहीं, कुछ नहीं, गांव में पानी नहीं, सब वो परेशानी में है।
यहाँ 8 दिन को 10 दिन को 11 दिन को एक बार ही टैंकर आता है ना, आता है तो गंदा पानी आता है। हम गरीबी लोग हैं, अभी कौन बोलता है ये करो वो करो, बाद में दवाखाने में जाने का पैसा कहाँ से लाने का, बताओ हम लोग को तो क्या करने का हम लोग ने।
District Magistrate Naval Kishore Rai admits the situation is very bad, but he points out the administration is operating a round-the-clock war room that's taking steps on several levels to overcome the crisis.
हमारा वाटर टैंक है, तकरीबन उसमें 12,000 लीटर पानी होता है और एक गांव में तो बोल सकते हैं कि औसतन 2 या 3 ट्रिप्स हम लगाते हैं, तो तकरीबन 1,500 ट्रिप्स है, तो इतने सारे टैंक्स के द्वारा लोगों को पानी दे रहे हैं।
In view of the water crisis, the local administration has provided 265 cattle camps in Beed. In all, about 2,65,000 cattle are provided fodder and water here. 80% of such cattle camps are located in Marathwada alone. Villagers say they are satisfied with the arrangements. 25 million people are facing the twin problems of drought and water scarcity in Beed district. While farmers and poor people are fleeing the district, authorities have stationed almost 900 tankers besides diverting water rationed from the city. But it's all proving to be an uphill battle against the rising heat and water scarcity. Arvind Kumar Singh's report from Beed district in Maharashtra for Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, Congress leaders today gave notice to suspend question hour in the Rajya Sabha when it resumes on Monday and adopt a resolution condemning the imposition of President's rule there. The budget session will be resuming after a recess on Monday. The notice is given by the Leader of Opposition in the Rajya Sabha, Ghulam Nabi Azad, and Deputy Leader of the Congress in the House, Anand Sharma, accused the BJP government of destabilizing a democratically elected government in the state. The notice given under Rule 267 seeks from the Rajya Sabha Chairman, Mohammad Hamid Ansari, the passage of a resolution condemning the Modi government for imposing President's rule in Uttarakhand. On Friday, the Supreme Court stayed till the 27th of April the State High Court's judgment quashing imposition of President's rule. The Congress is trying to project the President's rule in Uttarakhand and Arunachal Pradesh earlier as an attack on the fragile structure of the country. It's banking on a large number of opposition parties to back it on the issue. The news from all the elections that are around the corner and also going on. The high-voltage campaign for the 4th phase of polls in West Bengal saw election rallies addressed today by Home Minister Rajnath Singh and Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi. Today also marked the start of the poll campaign by the DMK for the 16th May elections in Tamil Nadu. Party President M. Karunanidhi kick-started the campaign at Saidapet in Chennai.
Home Minister Rajnath Singh addressing an election rally in West Bengal. In Badoria in North 24 Parganas, he told the gathering that the TMC had failed to live up to its promises to the people of the state.
मैंने जैसा कहा था केवल भारतीय जनता पार्टी को पश्चिम बंगाल में ताकत दे दो और मैं आज पश्चिम बंगाल की जनता को विश्वास दिलाकर जाना चाहता हूं मैं देखूंगा किस मां के लाल ने दूध पिया है जो कि पश्चिम बंगाल की धरती पर बम बनाने की हिम्मत कर सकता है। ये मैं काम ज्यादा करना चाहिए, भाषण कम करना चाहिए। और आप देखते हो जो लोग ज्यादा बोलते रहे होंगे, जो राजनीतिक पार्टियां, वो काम कम करती है। हम लोग बोलते कम है और काम ज्यादा करते हैं।
The Congress Vice President also addressed a rally in Howrah district. Accusing the government of failing to bring jobs to the state, Rahul Gandhi promised that his party will generate employment for the youth in West Bengal. He accused the Mamata Banerjee government of snatching away people's money and savings through the Sharda chit fund scam.
और जब हमारी यहाँ सरकार आएगी तो हमारा पहला काम रोजगार का होगा, विकास का होगा, प्रगति का होगा। ये जो टूथपेस्ट बंद हो रही है, जो ईंट के भट्टे बंद हो रहे हैं, उन लोगों को हम ऑल्टरनेटिव रोजगार देने का काम करेंगे।
Campaigning also started for the DMK in Tamil Nadu, with party president M. Karunanidhi addressing a gathering at Sadaipet in Chennai. He's likely to address 17 public meetings till May 14th, besides filing his nomination on 25th April in Thiruvarur Assembly constituency. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And our correspondent Kriti Mishra has been tracking the elections in Tamil Nadu, from where she joins us. Kriti, the DMK patriarch and president M. Karunanidhi is kickstarting the political campaign for the party, but it certainly seems that the party faces an uphill task this time around, especially with divisions within the first family of the party as well. Kriti, can you hear us? We seem to have lost that audio link with Kriti. We'll try to re-establish that. But as you can see on your screens right now, DMK President M. Karunanidhi kickstarting his party's campaign in Sadiapet in Tamil Nadu. DMK, of course, is battling incumbent Chief Minister and AIDMK Patriarch J. Jayalalitha, who's on a pretty strong wicket in the state. Karunanidhi will be contesting from his traditional seat of Thiruvarur. Our correspondent Kriti Mishra now joins us on the phone line. Kriti, as I was asking earlier, for the DMK, it's an uphill task because there are divisions within the family as well that could impact its chances in these elections.
Well, absolutely, Ishan. The biggest task in front of the DMK would be to set its own house in order, and internal rebellion that is coming up within the party, that probably the DMK Supremo has to quell. Remember, it is extremely important for the DMK to establish its hegemony in these elections. This is after the Lok Sabha poll drubbing that it received in 2014. If it doesn't do well in these elections, it has the perils of being reduced into a martial or a...
All right, we seem to have lost that link over there, but Kriti certainly pointing out the difficulty that the DMK is facing this time around, a make-or-break election for that party in the state. Moving on to Bihar now, where Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar formally took over as National President of the Janata Dal United at the party's National Executive Meet in Patna. As he accepted the new role, Nitish Kumar said that he will try to be the catalyst to unite anti-BJP forces to defeat the Saffron Party. Nitish also gave hints about his prime ministerial dreams, saying that if a person is destined to become prime minister, he would become prime minister one day. Nitish was elected party president on the 10th of April, replacing Sharad Yadav, at the party's national executive meeting held in New Delhi.
और जो भी मेरी क्षमता है उसके अनुरूप पार्टी संगठन को चलाने की कोशिश करूंगा और सबके सहयोग से संगठन और मजबूत बने, इसका विस्तार हो, इसके लिए वक्त भी देने की कोशिश करूंगा।
Time now to take a look at what else has been making news around the country and nationwide. At least 2 persons were killed and several houses damaged in fresh landslides triggered by rains in the Tawang district of Arunachal Pradesh, raising the death toll to 19. The fresh landslips occurred at a village which is about 20 kilometers from Tawang between the Tawang-Lumla road. 30 houses were badly damaged and one of the houses where the victims were staying was washed away. A Mumbai court sent 2 more people into police custody till 25th April in the Deonar dumping ground fire case. The 2 allegedly planned the incident that involved at least 9 scrap dealers who set off the blaze at the dumping ground on the 28th of March and the 28th of January and the 20th of March. Police in Oman took 2 people into custody for the murder of Indian nurse Chiku Robert. Her husband was earlier questioned by the police. Meanwhile, Robert's body will be brought back to her hometown in Kerala on Wednesday. The nurse was found dead in her apartment with at least a dozen stab wounds on her body. Time for us to take a short break. Lots more on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Maldives is strategically very important for us.
China is interested in spreading its tentacles everywhere in the Indian Ocean.
Maldives is not Pakistan. The Maldives has been under President Gayoom's quasi-dictatorial rule.
Watch experts discuss and debate with me India's new policy towards the Maldives on Rajya Sabha television.
The art of painting comes to us from the prehistoric period. Paintings are also a valuable source of information about their age. Like this depiction of the wedding procession of Dara Shikoh. The eldest son of Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan had a Mughal wedding with distinctive Indian elements. Like the veil he wears to the pomp and show of the Bharat in Hindu weddings.
My research sort of speciality is essentially signal processing. For a person who works on this multi-detector sort of strategy, I think having detected in India is fantastic. I'm more excited is to see this kind of a system which we never expected.
Watch Eureka with Dr. Archana Pai, Assistant Professor, IISER Thiruvananthapuram, only on Rajya Sabha TV.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. Now, unidentified attackers hacked to death a professor near his home in northwest Bangladesh on Saturday. It was the latest in a series of brutal attacks on bloggers, intellectuals and activists in the country. Rajshahi University professor AFM Razal Karim Siddiqui was murdered within 50 meters of his home in the country's northwestern city of Rajshahi. The motive behind the murder is not immediately known. The ISIS claimed responsibility for the attack. Angry students and teachers of the university rallied in the campus demanding an immediate arrest of the culprits. Professor Siddiqui is the 4th university professor to have been murdered. Over the past year, Islamist groups have killed several people, including atheist writers and publishers. Now, in the United States, at least 8 people of the same family were shot dead in execution style in 4 homes in Ohio. The shooters may still be at large. Authorities believe the lone gunman is on the loose, although a person of interest was detained in another community late on Friday night. The victims included 7 adults and a juvenile. All were shot in the head, according to the county sheriff. Meanwhile, 5 people were also killed in Georgia in 2 separate shootings that authorities claim appear to be related to domestic incidents. No arrests have been made so far in that case. Now, world leaders from 175 countries signed the historic Paris Climate Accord on Friday. Earth's Day became the backdrop for the ceremonial inking of a long-fought deal that aims to slow the rise of harmful greenhouse gases. By signing the 4-month-old agreement, the nations pledged to join the fight against global warming.
Earth Day was the day a record number of 175 countries chose to sign the historic Paris Accord to slow global warming. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon told the gathering that the era of consumption without consequences is over.
Today, the governments of the world made history, just as they did last December in Paris at COP21. With their signature today, governments have made a covenant with the future.
The US and China, which together account for nearly 40% of global emissions, said they intend to formally join the agreement this year. US Secretary of State John Kerry brought his young daughter to the signing ceremony in a symbolic gesture to stress the importance of pact for future generations.
The power of this agreement is the opportunity that it creates. The power is the message that it sends to the marketplace. It is the unmistakable signal that innovation, entrepreneurial activity, the allocation of capital, the decisions that governments make, all of this is what we now know definitively is what is going to define the new energy future, a future that is already being defined, but even yet to be discovered.
尽早参加巴黎协定。中国将在今年9月20国集团杭州峰会之前完成参加协定的国内法律程序。
The deal commits countries to restraining the global rise in temperatures to well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. The deal will come into force as soon as 55 countries responsible for 55% of the world's greenhouse gases have ratified the accord. The target date for the agreement to begin is 2020. For French President François Hollande, who hosted the talks in the wake of last November's terror attacks, this was a moment of satisfaction.
Le contexte à Paris était dramatique, tragique, après les attentats terroristes qui avaient frappé la capitale française. Mais le monde a su, justement, dans un élan de solidarité et aussi de responsabilité.
Famous Hollywood actor Leonardo DiCaprio also addressed the international officials, telling them they were the last best hope for saving the planet.
An upheaval, a massive change is required right now, one that leads to a new collective consciousness, a new collective evolution of the human race, inspired and enabled by a sense of urgency from all of you.
Despite Friday's signing ceremony, most individual countries are still obliged to ratify the agreement in their own parliaments. The first 3 months of 2016 have broken temperature records, and 2015 was the planet's warmest year since records began in the 19th century, with heat waves, droughts and rising sea levels. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Some more international news now in Global Buzz. A fire at a chemical warehouse in eastern China was put out on early Saturday morning after 16 hours of hard work. The chemical and fuel warehouse caught fire and exploded Friday night. The warehouse was authorized to keep hazardous chemicals, according to the reports. The company's official blog said that the fire was brought under control with no casualties or injuries. The materials on fire included methanol and mixed aromatics. China is planning to build about 20 floating reactor platforms to meet the demand of maritime atomic propulsion, driving a market that could be worth tens of billions of dollars. Floating nuclear power plants are being developed with the goal of providing electricity to offshore construction projects, even in remote locations. China's Shipbuilding Industry Corporation, a state-run company, is working to build an entire fleet of the floating power plants, citing strong demand for the ships. Republican frontrunner Donald Trump has come under fire yet again for his attempt to use the Indian accent to mock a call center representative in India. Trump said that he called up his credit card company to find out whether their customer support is based in the US or overseas. At the same time, he described India as a great place. Islamic State fighters claim to have captured the pilot of a Syrian warplane which crashed southeast of Damascus. The pilot, Azamid, was from Hama, was captured after he fell by parachute near the site where his plane crashed. A video was posted on a website which showed the burning wreckage of the plane. Russian news agency Interfax said the plane belonged to the Syrian Air Force and crashed because of a technical fault. Time now for all the sports action in Sportsbeat. India's ace cueist Pankaj Advani bowed out of the Asian Snooker Championship. He lost the semi-finals in a tightly contested match after ousting Syrian player Karam Fatima, scoring 5 frames to nil. BCCI President Shashank Manohar on Friday informed the board that the waived off $41.97 million fine imposed on the West Indies Cricket Board for abandoning the 2014 tour to India midway. Manohar said the West Indies will tour in India 2017 to play the pending matches from the 2014 series. The schedule will be finalized by the end of May this year. Defending champion Kei Nishikori and Rafael Nadal advanced to the semi-final of the Barcelona Open. Nishikori defeated Ukraine's Alexander Dolgopov 7-5, 6-0. He will now face Benoit Paire in the semi-final. In the other game, Rafael Nadal advanced to the semis after claiming a hard-fought victory over Fabio Fognini. FIFA President Gianni Infantino on Friday announced the formation of a monitoring body to oversee the working conditions of labourers at Qatar's 2022 World Cup stadiums. Earlier reports suggested that hundreds of labourers died as Qatar made preparations for the tournament, which the country repeatedly kept denying. Amnesty International said the number of workers could rise to 36,000 by 2018. Well, that's all from us. Goodbye.